New York Times has this headline. The headline is, "This is not the way to help depressed teenagers." And it is an op-ed that it's worth reading the entire thing. Read a little bit of it. It says, Dr. Saxby is a clinical psychologist and professor of psychology at the University of Southern California. Ever since the pandemic, when rates of teenage suicide, anxiety, and depression spiked, policymakers around the world have pushed to make mental health resources more broadly available to young people through programming in schools and on social media platforms. The strategy is well-intentioned. Traditional therapy can be expensive and time-consuming. Access can be limited. By contrast, large-scale light-touch interventions, TikTok offerings from Harvard School of Public Health, grief coping workshops in junior high, aim to reach young people where they are and at relatively low cost. But there's now reason to think that this approach is risky. Recent studies have found that several of these programs not only failed to help young people, they also made their mental health problems worse. Understanding why these efforts backfired can shed light on how society can and can't help teenagers who are suffering from depression and anxiety. Consider a social-emotional skills training school program called WISE Teens, led by clinical psychologists in training. It consists of 8 weekly hour-long classroom sessions in which students learn to manage their emotions with the help of tools and principles drawn from cognitive behavior therapy and Zen Buddhism. Last month, the journal Behavior Research and Therapy published a study of about 1,000 Australian teenagers who were observed from 2017 to 2018. One group participated in WISE Teens, another group participated in standard health class curriculum. And just to summarize, it turns out that the students who were in this kind of therapeutic environment fared worse. And then there are other examples that they bring forth of students who are in these kind of therapeutic programs meant to help them cope with anxiety and depression, but it actually makes them worse. And why is that happening? Well, there's a few theories that are put forward. It says, first, by focusing teenagers' attention on mental health issues, these interventions may have unwittingly exacerbated their problems. Lucy Folks, an Oxford psychologist, calls this phenomenon prevalence inflation. When greater awareness of mental illness leads people to talk of normal life struggles in terms of symptoms and diagnoses, these sorts of labels begin to dictate how people view themselves in ways that can become self-fulfilling. Teenagers who are still developing their identities are especially prone to take psychological labels to heart. Instead of saying, I am nervous about X, a teenager might say, I can't do X because I have anxiety. A reframing that research shows undermines resilience by encouraging people to view everyday challenges as insurmountable. Anyway, okay, so you could read the entire thing. This is what we're starting to see is that more and more people are just barely starting to understand the problems with living in a therapeutic culture, a culture where everyone is encouraged to constantly think about themselves and their own emotional states and be going to therapy and be taking medicine and everything all the time. A society where the human condition has been categorized and medicalized and diagnosed. I think people are starting to see the issues with it. Now, I've been talking about this problem for years. Mostly I've been ignored. I'm still mostly ignored about it. But I think in the coming years, people will increasingly wake up to this. And they will see that we have just entirely handed our culture, our country, ourselves, our humanity over to the psychiatric industry. Which means that over time, people will see that the issues stretch far beyond what the New York Times has been talking about. What we've done, focusing just on young people for a moment, what we've done is we have programmed them to look inwards, always. So like they don't see the outside world. They're constantly staring back at themselves, thinking about how they're feeling, thinking about how they feel about how they feel, and how they feel about how they feel about how they feel. It creates this like infinite regress of self-obsession. And they can't get out of their own heads. And when I say can't get out of their own heads, not in the sense that we used to use phrases like that. In the past, if you had said that, that person can't get out of their own head, you might have meant it in the sense that like their head's in the clouds. And this is someone who's, say, very philosophically minded, very intellectual person, someone that can't get out of his own head because he's constantly contemplating the mysteries of the universe, or he's thinking about the nature of consciousness and where it comes from, and that sort of thing. There's that sense in which a person can't get out of their own heads. And the thing is, say what you want about that kind of mentality. It's obviously much better for the individual and for humanity than this sense of not being able to get out of your own head, which is that we've got all these young people and older people who are trapped in their own heads not because they're thinking about something beyond themselves and they're contemplating mysteries of the universe, and not because they're too intellectual and not practical enough, but because they're just bundles of emotion. And they're always thinking about it. All of their attention is turned back within themselves. The holidays are rapidly approaching, but we can find peace and calm in the craziness of the season with Hallow, the #1 Christian prayer app in the world. Immerse yourself in Christmas and Advent prayers, meditations, and peaceful Christmas music. Hallow also offers an extensive library of Bible reading plans accompanied by insightful reflections and audio-guided meditations. Whether you're a seasoned Bible reader or just starting your journey, Hallow provides a platform for you to engage with Scripture like never before. A great place to start is with Father Mike Schmitz's Bible in a Year, which he offers brief daily readings and reflections available on the Hallow app. The Hallow app also helps you connect with a community of like-minded individuals sharing experiences, insights, and encouragement along the path to spiritual growth. This Christmas, join Hallow's Christmas Prayer Challenge, Advent with C.S. Lewis, for the 25 days leading up to Christmas. You can focus on the real reason for the season with prayer, meditation, and Christmas music on Hallow. Download the app for free at hallow.com/Matt Walsh for 3 months free. That's hallow.com/Matt Walsh. I've got a holiday gift idea for you that's sure to make you a hero of the season. Now, we all know the holidays can be a bit hectic, the shopping, the cooking, the never-ending list of things to do. But fear not, because I've discovered a gift that's not just thoughtful, it's downright transformative. It is the gift of Genucel skincare. From now until Christmas, Genucel's most popular package has a special discount just for my listeners at genucel.com/Walsh. Treat yourself and your loved ones to the absolute best skincare in the world. Those troubling forehead wrinkles, fine lines, skin redness, and yes, even a sagging jawline will disappear right before your eyes with Genucel's most popular package collection. Genucel promises immediate effects. You'll see results in less than 12 hours, guaranteed, or your money back. Genucel made Christmas come early this year. They sent down a ton of their products for our crew to try. The crew was so excited to get their hands on the products and see for themselves how great they truly are. Everyone was extremely impressed with the quality and how different it felt in comparison to other skincare products. You deserve to look and feel your best this holiday season. Go to genucel.com/Walsh to get this incredible holiday discount. Every order today is instantly upgraded to free express shipping. That's genucel.com/Walsh today. This is what the therapeutic, or what I would call our therapeutic culture, encourages. It's how people are conditioned. And we just can't function this way. And then part of that is, and you see this especially in young people, it's part of what this article is grasping at, is that you've got young people that don't understand that suffering and discomfort, anxiety, sadness, these are all normal. This is all part of being human, and you will never escape them. You just won't. And you might say, well, that's not fair. So you're telling me that I will always have suffering and that there'll always be pain and sadness in my life no matter what I do? Yeah, that's human existence. That's what human existence entails. Anxiety especially, is why I'm always talking about the fact that we turned anxiety into a disease is so insane. And I know that most people still are not far enough along here to, I'm going too far for most people even if people that track me up till now, when I suggest that anxiety is not at all a mental illness, that's well, no, that's not true. I have anxiety. It's different for me. You don't understand. I need medicine. My anxiety is different from yours. It's so much worse. How do you know that? How the hell do you know that? You're not in anybody else's mind. Do you understand you're not in anyone else's mind? That you're experiencing these emotions and you're simply assuming that it is so much worse for you than anybody else? Do you understand that assumption is based in nothing at all? No, anxiety is part of life. Like, everyone experiences anxiety at some level, like always. I mean, there's always at least a baseline level of anxiety. that undergirds all of human experience. Well, that doesn't sound very fun. Yeah, it's not. It's not. I'm not saying it's good. It just is, though. And we have now created generations of people who do not understand this. Like, they don't understand what it is to be human. That's what's at stake here. What's at stake is a society of people who don't know they don't know how to be people. They don't know what it means to be a person. I'm glad that some people are starting to catch on very slowly to this issue, but we need to speed it up. We need to speed the realization process up, because pretty soon we are going to live in a country where literally everybody is on a psychiatric drug and has been numbed into basically unconsciousness. That is where we're headed if we don't, if this process of realizing that I'm right does not speed up quite a bit. If you'd like to see what else I have to say, you can access my full show by going to dailywire.com or by going to the Matt Walsh Show Twitter page. Hope to see you there. Godspeed.